And COVID cases nationwide are once again spiking. Who's encouraging Americans to get the vaccine?
This is News 3 Now at noon.
Yeah, just believe, man. I hope I give people around the world, from Africa, from Europe, give them hope. You know that it can be done. It can be done.
The wait is finally over. It took 50 years, but the Milwaukee Bucks are officially NBA champions. The Bucks defeated the Suns last night behind 50 points from Giannis Antetokounmpo. He was also named the NBA Finals MVP. The Greek Freak averaged over 35 points and 13 rebounds per game during the NBA Finals.
To win a championship, you got to make free throws. You got to make shots, and he's made shots all throughout the playoffs. He's made free throws all throughout the playoffs. 6 block shots, I think, however many points. He's off the charts. He's the MVP of the NBA Finals.
The city of Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin will celebrate the Bucks championship on Thursday with a parade in downtown Milwaukee. Officials are still working out all the details, but as soon as we know, we'll let you know on our website, channel3000.com, and in our newscasts. Police say 2 shootings in downtown Milwaukee happened early this morning as crowds celebrated the Milwaukee Bucks championship, leaving 3 people injured. The shootings both happened just before 1 at 2 locations near Water Street. Police say a man had non-life-threatening injuries from one of the shootings, and a suspect is in custody. In the other shooting, 2 people had non-life-threatening injuries. 1 person was in custody, but police are looking for other suspects. The shootings were across the Milwaukee River from Pfizer Forum, where the game was played, and the Deer District Plaza, where a crowd of roughly 65,000 gathered for an outdoor watch party. A cloudy and cooler start to your Wednesday. Let's head over to the Weather Center. Austin has a look at your first warn forecast. Hi, Austin.
Hello. And you know, we do have a lot of cloud cover overhead outdoors as of right now, but it's still not the worst day because our temperatures haven't really cranked up too much. Currently outside right now, it's 68 degrees. We have a lot of cloud cover overhead. Dew points are slowly rising, but we're still seeing those in the upper 50s as of right now. So it's just a touch on the muggier side of things, but really not too bad in terms of overall mugginess. But if you've noticed, there is still plenty of cloud cover overhead, and we also do have a few of those lighter showers that have popped up in some of our southern communities as of right now. But based on our latest Doppler track, it does look like it is on the way out of our area. Temperatures even in the upper 60s for a lot of us. 68 in Madison, a few 70s out west, Lone Rock, Mineral Point, Platteville, all at right around 70 degrees right now. But the dew points also looking pretty good to go. The dew points could be quite a bit worse than they really are as of right now. So hopefully we can keep that there for the rest of today. And it does look like that is going to be the case. But temperatures over these next 12 hours only really rising to the mid to upper 70s. Not a very hot one, but what about later on in the forecast? We are going to warm things up quite a bit, and I'll have details on that here in just a moment.
All right, we'll see you then. Austin, thank you. We're still waiting for officials to identify the human remains found in northwestern Dane County last week. Yesterday, the Dane County Sheriff says they are expanding their investigation into the murder of Bart Halderson and the disappearance of his wife, Krista. They are now searching a landfill near Johnson Creek. They say they've been searching this landfill for a few days with the help of canine teams. Last week, Chandler Halderson was charged in his father's death. Bail was set at $1 million. Bond has been reduced for one of the 3 teens accused of shooting and killing a girl during a drive-by shooting. Court records show cash bond for Jerry Ward was reduced to $500,000 today in Dane County Court. Ward, Perry and Carrion, and Andre Brown are all charged in the shooting death of Anisha Scott last summer. The Department of Homeland Security announced it is extending non-essential travel restrictions between the U.S. and Canada and Mexico until August 21st. The move is in response to the increased number of coronavirus cases from the Delta variant, which is spreading almost unchecked among the unvaccinated. Skylar Henry has more details from the White House.
The CDC says Americans are living shorter lives now, due largely to the coronavirus. The agency released new data showing American life expectancy fell 1.5 years in 2020 to an average age of 77.3 years. That's the largest drop since World War II. And now health experts say COVID deaths are on the rise again.
Over the last week, we have averaged 239 deaths per day, an increase of nearly 48% over the prior week.
The number of new COVID cases has tripled in the last month to more than 35,000 cases a day. The CDC says the Delta variant accounts for around 83% of new infections.
All of the current vaccines work against the Delta variant and every variant out there.
President Biden has made distributing the vaccine his #1 priority during his first 6 months in office. But some say that's part of the reason why some Americans are refusing to get the shot.
There is a lack of trust in government when you see President Biden being so partisan on so many issues, frankly misleading people on some things for partisan purposes, but then he says go get vaccinated. Well, you can't separate that out.
Congressman Steve Scalise, the second-ranking House Republican in Congress, says he got vaccinated this week as Republican lawmakers are stepping up their calls for vaccinations.
These shots need to get in everybody's arm as rapidly as possible.
The latest CBS News poll shows Republicans are far more likely than Democrats to say they will not get vaccinated. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.
And according to the CBS News polls, the top reasons for not getting the vaccine are people are worried about the side effects, they don't trust the government, and or they don't trust the science behind the vaccines. The COVID threat is looming large over the Tokyo Olympics, where competition has already begun even before the opening ceremony on Friday. Although athletes are not required to be vaccinated, the safety protocols are strict and involve rigorous testing for anyone connected to the games. Spectators have been barred from most events. Any athlete who has come in close contact with someone testing positive must test daily and quarantine in a single dorm room and have meals delivered.
When you hear that there could be a last-minute cancellation,
no, that's not going to happen. That train left the station a long, long time ago. These games are happening.
More than 70 people, from athletes to staff, have been infected with the virus. NBA star Bradley Beal was forced to miss the Olympics after being placed in health and safety protocols. Brisbane, Australia has been successful in its bid to be the host city of the 2032 Olympic Games. The International Olympic Committee awarded Brisbane the event as it meets in Tokyo for the current Games. 2032 will be the third time an Australian city hosts the Summer Games. The 1956 Games were held in Melbourne, and the 2000 Summer Olympics were held in Sydney. Officials in Larimer County, Colorado are cleaning up after deadly flash flooding yesterday. One person died, 2 others are missing. The sheriff's office says at least 5 homes have been damaged or destroyed. There's also been reports of mudslides and power outages. More stormy weather is expected today. Meanwhile, rescue operations are underway in China. The capital city of central China's Henan province has been battled by and flooded by rounds of torrential rains for days. The water level in some parts of the city reached up to 50 to 60 inches. Floods triggered by torrential rains have left 25 dead, 7 missing, and affected more than 1.2 million people in the province since Friday. An intense video from the Florida Highway Patrol shows a police chase that ended in a crash. The video was released yesterday, but the crash happened in May. Officials say 5 teens stole an SUV in Miami, hit a bicyclist, and then drove onto the interstate. The chase ended when the teens crashed on a highway in Hollywood. No word on the injuries. That's a bad one. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon.
vaccine sales boost Johnson & Johnson's bottom line, and a day to eat what you want, as long as it's just junk. I'm Diane Kinghall at the New York Stock Exchange. I'll have those stories and more in your CBS Money Watch report.
Time is of the essence when planning for retirement, so take the time now to make sure yours is well built. Retirements are built here every day. Retirement Income Planning, LLC.
When you replace your gutters with a LeafGuard brand gutter system, you'll be done cleaning your gutters forever, and you'll be protecting your home's foundation. I'm Andrew Larson, owner of Larson Home Services, and my team would love to show you how LeafGuard's patented design keeps leaves and debris out and is guaranteed to never clog. And now is the best time to get LeafGuard. Get free installation labor, free financing for 12 months, and call today and get a $100 Visa gift card with your new LeafGuard gutter system. Don't wait. Call now to schedule your free estimate.
The light at the end of the tunnel isn't shining so brightly for everyone. Families continue to fight for survival. Some jobs are gone forever. Bills pile up. But please know, you have not been forgotten. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
Is your credit score getting in the way of the things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit offer fast and flexible lending. Borrow up to $10,000 and choose repayment terms that work for you. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
Erectile dysfunction for men of all ages has become much more common. In fact, most men don't realize that 90% of erectile dysfunction is a direct result of broken down old blood vessels. This causes a lack of blood flow that is critical when achieving an erection. With our state-of-the-art technology, we're able to stimulate new stem cell growth right in our office with no pills, no needles, no surgery, and no pain.
To book your consultation and get back to natural functionability, call Peak Performance for Men today.
Whether you're heading back to campus, the classroom, or learning from home, Menards has school supplies, dorm decor, and everything else in between. Fill up your backpack with notebooks, pens, and more. Or put together the perfect study spot at home. Stop into Menards and stock up on everything for back to school. Plus, save 11% on all of it. Hurry in while supplies last. Start the school year off right with 11% off everything, now at Menards.
What does your retirement future look like? With a well-built retirement, your future can look bright. Your financial home secure. Retirements are built here every day. Call now and start building yours.
Johnson & Johnson says it expects to rake in $2.5 billion from its coronavirus vaccine this year. That comes despite concerns over its effectiveness against the Delta variant. And J&J says earnings topped $6.2 billion in its second quarter. More than $1.5 billion in emergency rental assistance was doled out to cash-strapped Americans in June. All told, the Treasury Department says the government helped out 290,000 households. That is a more than 50% increase in the number served in May. Amazon warehouse workers will no longer need to be tested for COVID-19 at the end of the month. The e-commerce giant said it will stop testing employees, citing the availability of vaccines and free testing. In May, Amazon said fully vaccinated warehouse employees could stop wearing masks as long as they uploaded their vaccine cards to an Amazon worker app. Today is National Junk Food Day, and a Google search trend study found that donuts, pie, and ice cream are the most popular junk foods nationwide. Respondents say they spend $20 a week on average on sweet and savory snacks. The unofficial holiday doesn't seem to be a one-day affair, though. More than one-third say they get their dose of junk food daily. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
Diane, thank you. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial is up 261 points. The NASDAQ up 84. The S&P 500 up 27.5. While many Americans consumed more alcohol during the pandemic, a growing number are cutting back or abstaining altogether. According to IWSR Drinks Marketing Analysis, the volume of no alcohol products in the U.S. increased more than 22% last year and is forecasted to grow more than 23% over the next 4 years. Barry Arnold owns a zero-proof bottle shop with 2 New York City locations that also launched during the pandemic.
When we first started, we were basically begging some of these companies to send us product. Now we're to the point, thankfully, that we're getting 5 to 10 different companies reaching out to us. Some even drop the product by.
Booze-free bottlers say as long as consumers continue to make healthier choices, businesses, well, bottoms up. The clouds are sticking around in southern Wisconsin this afternoon, and we could see some scattered showers and thunderstorms later on. Austin has a look at your certified most accurate forecast next.
Do you suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet, commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica or gabapentin that have serious side effects and often do not relieve your symptoms? Your doctor has told you you may just have to live with the pain. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. Our facility uses multiple therapeutic methods to help give you relief from neuropathy symptoms with no injections and no drugs. You may start seeing relief after only a few sessions. To determine if your neuropathy symptoms can be relieved, we will do a consultation to evaluate the extent of your condition. Call us today to schedule your neuropathy consultation to find out if you're a candidate for our therapy. Call today.
He's here! He's here! It's happening!
What can I get you, young man?
Free installation!
Coming right up.
Feldco's biggest sale of the year. Free installation. Plus, no interest until 2023.
Free installation on windows, siding, and doors ends soon. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
My mom was a bank teller, but her hands were so crippled by arthritis she could no longer do her job. She applied for Social Security disability benefits. Like most people, my mom was denied. I'm attorney Don Becker. Don't be embarrassed and don't give up. My mom appealed. You can too. Disability law is all we do.
Call the Becker Law Office, 1-800-254-7766.
COVID vaccination rates are strikingly low in our local jails.
It's a little disconcerting that it's that low.
Naomi Coles finds out why and what's being done about this problem. News 3 Now investigates. Tonight at 10.
Thursday on News 3 Now this morning, we are live in Milwaukee getting you ready for the championship parade.
And Chris Reese is timing out the chances for some rain during that parade. Join us from 4:30 to 7 tomorrow morning.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blain's Farm and Fleet.
Let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report on this Wednesday. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. Better indoors than up at Wisconsin Farm Technology Days yesterday. 86 degrees.
A little steamy.
Yeah, a little steamy, a little dry. I took my shoes and socks off yesterday, and it looked like somebody painted a line around my ankles. So it was good, though, as far as attendance. Shore organizers say that there are kind of informal count, somewhere between 16 and 18,000 people that were there, and that's adults. They didn't count the kids 12 years of age and under. It did include about 620 volunteers, though, that were helping make everything happen. They had about 13 school buses that were taking people out to the various farm tours that they are offering. Now, remember, Wisconsin Farm Technology Days in Eau Claire County continues through tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. The bus tours that they were giving went to Nellie's Dairy, which is a very modern and new dairy operation just down the road from Hunsinger's horseradish processing facilities, and they also drive you through Ferguson's apple orchard. So a lot of different things to see. Innovation Square, I spent some time in there. You get a chance to sample horseradish on different things and what your tolerance might be. And then you can learn about how here in Wisconsin, we've got a farm that's raising Atlantic salmon up by mile just off the interstates in Northfield. So a lot of different things for people that are not necessarily engaged in agriculture. Wisconsin Farm Technology Day runs through tomorrow at 4. All right, so today in the marketplace, one story that I'm kind of watching is, looks like Brazil is going to start tweaking a little bit the amount of biodiesel that they're using, namely so that they can sell more soy oil into the world marketplace. That's something that could impact us here at home, so kind of keep an eye on that one, as well as weather. 2 counties in Minnesota and 11 in South Dakota got declared a disaster area today because of the drought. Barrel cheese on Wednesday drops $0.0125 to $1.3725. 40-pound block cheese down $6.25 at $1.5225. Double A butter, that was up $0.015 today at $1.7275 per pound. So there we go. Numbers for you on a Wednesday.
All right, you wash your feet?
Good Lord, I washed everything. I was covered in my
little dusty out there.
Between my truck and me, I don't know who was carrying more dirt.
All right, well, good to see you back.
Thanks.
All right, see you tomorrow. Here's Austin now with Look at Your Forecast.
And, we are looking at a pretty decent overall extended forecast, but it's going to be warm. It's going to be pretty muggy, and you pretty much repeat that for most of this actual next 10 days or so. Slight chances for some showers as well here from pretty much today all the way through Friday, and then hot conditions. 90s now expected for Saturday, so we really are expecting those temperatures to crank up quite a bit. Live look outside right now, however, most communities are staying dry, but we are seeing a lot of cloud cover, so it's not necessarily the sunniest day overall, but our Doppler track is looking pretty good locally. A few of those showers did pop up in the southern part of the state, but they're racing their way out of the area. Just a slim chance to see that actually falling and reaching the ground here for today, but some spots may end up seeing that. Now, our future track does show these temperatures falling back down into the lower to mid 60s here in the overnight hours. Tomorrow, temperatures rise right back up. Tomorrow is going to be quite a bit warmer than today, but today we have a few limiting factors. The heavy cloud cover, temperatures staying down into those mid to upper 70s today. Tomorrow, with a little bit more sunshine overall expected. That is going to help to really bring these temperatures up back into those lower to mid 80s here for a lot of communities. That trend does look to continue, but also notice how later on in the afternoon and evening tomorrow, there is again that slim chance to see one or two of these passing showers moving through here locally, but a lot of us are just going to end up dodging those, and that's going to be the case over these next few days. So most of us are going to stay dry, but you saw those 90s returning in the following day afterwards as well. It is going to heat up quite a bit. Precipitation outlook still shows we're going to be right around average, but a little bit drier than average. Rain chances towards the end of this forecast really do fall off. We're only looking at about a 20-30% chance here for that Wednesday and Thursday. So we really are staying on the drier side of things, but it could be a lot worse. Thankfully out there, we do have those temperatures that are actually pretty decent today, but you look at how they're going to rise over these next few days. Thursday's high 84, 89 by the time we reach Friday, and then we're likely going to balance out here in those lower 90s and upper 80s here throughout the rest of this weekend. So the weekend outlook looking a little bit hotter than what we were looking at here earlier in the week, but overall our temperatures still looking pretty good, I would say, right now. 68 in Madison. It feels comfortable with the temps, but then you factor in the dew points, and it's still a little bit on the muggier side of things. And with the cloud cover, it doesn't feel too great, but again, it could be quite a bit worse here for today. 59 degrees for the dew points. Even just a few hours ago, we were seeing more of those 50s, but those dew points are unfortunately still beginning to rise, and especially down to our southwest. That's where we see some of our higher dew points, and that moist air is actually making its way a little bit closer here to us. But our wind speeds actually looking really good, just about 5-10 miles per hour. Not going to see any issues here with our wind speeds. Later on this afternoon, we are still expecting to reach 77 degrees. We're still trapped in those upper 60s as of right now, but I do think there is that possibility for a few peaks of sunshine, and even with the cloud cover overhead, we're still probably going to end up increasing back into those middle to even upper 70s. But the 10-day extended forecast, well, it's going to show that big warm up here. Friday, we're going to be back into the upper 80s and low 90s. Much of the same for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of this next week before we really do slightly cool things right back down. But even by the following Friday, 10 days out from today, we still have a high of 85 degrees. So today, with the cooler side of things, we need to enjoy it while we can because it's going to heat right back up.
Wow, that's a long stretch.
It is quite the long stretch of high heat as well in this area.
So enjoy today.
That's right.
All right, Austin, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Craving a homemade dessert, but you don't want to turn on your oven? We've got just the thing, and boy, is it good.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family. Do good things in the community. Help out your neighbors. You've been there for so many others. Now, we're here for you. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
Don't you wish you could wave a magic wand and have whiter teeth? Well, you can, but it's not magic. It's power swabs. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and boom, whiter teeth and a better smile. And since you're not dealing with messy trays or awkward strips, you're less vulnerable to the harsh sensitivity they sometimes create.
I've used strips. They seem to really hurt my teeth. The power swabs, it just seemed very gentle.
It's so simple and easy. You just open it, you apply it to your teeth, you forget it's there, and I noticed that they're white and bright again like they were before.
I noticed actually a difference the first time that I used power swabs. You put on the first coat and then the activator goes on and immediately you start seeing it working.
It only takes 5-minute applications to get a brighter, whiter smile with power swabs. You just snap, swab, and smile. Power swabs have been clinically studied to whiten natural teeth and remove stains from caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so powerful, it removes stains from coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking.
I love my coffee in the morning.
I will never stop drinking coffee. I will not be the person drinking hot coffee with a straw.
As much coffee as I drink, I can use my power swabs and eliminate the staining.
When I use the power swabs, I applied it directly to my front tooth where the coffee stain was.
I like being able to individually get the teeth, and most importantly, it got kind of in between the grooves.
You can put it directly on the stain that you see on your teeth, and it's so precise.
But as powerful as it is, it's also gentle and causes 0 to minimal sensitivity.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have an aftertaste. It was just a swab, and I just got a rubber on my teeth, and that was it.
Take it from me as someone who has gone the dental route, but has also gone on the shelf route, and I've not really seen anything work as effective and as easy as power swabs.
Whiten your teeth today by ordering power swabs and receive 40% off the regular price. Shipping is free, plus you'll receive a free quick stick pen to use on the go after meals or a cup of coffee. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
From reading your Facebook posts and comments online, I know that most of you are looking for homemade tasting desserts this time of year, even though you don't want to turn on your ovens. So with that in mind, what do you say we whip up a fresh tasting homemade ice cream bar that's irresistibly good? We start by placing some store-bought lemon sandwich cookies in a food processor and chopping them until they're coarsely crushed. You may need to do this in batches. Then we stir in some melted butter. Half of this goes into a baking dish that we've lined with foil. Make sure you pat this down firmly to create a crust. As for the filling, we mix some softened vanilla ice cream with a bit of lemon juice and lemon zest and give it a quick stir. Then we swirl in some blueberry preserves and layer this over our cookie crust. Now we'll firmly press the rest of the crumb mixture onto the top and into the freezer it goes. Once it sets up, remove the foil, cut it into squares, and it's ready to serve. There you have it. Perfect homemade ice cream sandwiches that are brimming with lemon and blueberries. To get the step-by-step recipe for our blueberry lemon ice cream sandwiches, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a sweet no-bake way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, guys, thanks. Sporting events are already underway ahead of Friday's opening ceremony for Tokyo's 2020 Summer Games. But athletes aren't the only ones competing. Olympic organizers Hope Miratawa and Samadi will help bring the Summer Games to life. Mascots have a long history at the Olympics. The first official one debuted nearly 50 years ago with Waldi, the Dachshund, at the Munich Games in Germany. The 2020 Olympic mascots were chosen by children from more than 16,000 Japanese elementary schools in the country and abroad. They're bringing a little fun to the games. Hopefully the games will happen. Here's Austin, one final check of the forecast.
Yeah, I'm crossing my fingers too. Now that the Bucks are done with their season, what am I going to watch? So I need some good sporting entertainment there. And today we're going to see a lot of cloud cover out there, but temperatures, one of the cooler days that we're looking at here this week. I'm expecting a high of around 77 degrees, but take a look at this extended forecast. Yeah, the 70s not going to be here for long. Mid-80s tomorrow, upper 80s on Friday, and then a hot weekend with temperatures screaming into those lower 90s.
All right, take it easy out there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. Have a great afternoon.